Rudy Giuliani, as we previously discussed, is going in front of the Georgia grand jury that is investigating his attempts to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. So we'll take a look here at a little bit about that. Rudy Giuliani faced a special grand jury Wednesday under a judge's order to appear before the panel investigating attempts by former President Donald Trump and others to overturn his 2020 election defeat in Georgia. News cameras swarmed Giuliani as he stepped out of a limousine Wednesday morning with his attorney Robert Castillo and walked up the steps into the Fulton County courthouse in Atlanta. Giuliani told reporters that he wouldn't talk about his testimony. It's unclear how much the former New York mayor and attorney for Trump will be willing to say now that his lawyers have been informed he's a target of the investigation. Questioning will take place behind closed doors because the special grand jury proceedings are secret. Yet Giuliani's appearance is another high-profile step in a rapidly escalating investigation that has ensnared several Trump allies and brought heightened scrutiny to the desperate and ultimately failed efforts to overturn Democrat Joe Biden's 2020 election win. It's one of several investigations into Trump's actions in office as he lays the groundwork for another run at the White House in 2024. So it's just wild that this is all really beginning. Giuliani is there. He's being questioned again, as they outlined. We're unsure on exactly how much he'll say. Will he actually answer questions? Will he plead the fifth? What's going to go on in that sense? Will he want to answer for Trump about what Trump did, about Trump's part in those actions, or will he just stay focused on his own? Who knows? But here's a little bit of a clip of him walking into the courthouse and getting asked some questions. He doesn't answer them, but it's just fascinating to see kind of a pretty historic moment where the former lawyer of the president of the United States, the former president, is going to be questioned about overturning the election. That's just wild. History books.
We will not talk about this until it's over. It's a grand jury, and grand juries, as I recall, a secret.
Do you believe President Trump is the ultimate target of this investigation?
I'm not going to comment on the grand jury investigation.
What do you think their ultimate goal is here?
More about it.
What are you expecting to talk about here today?
Well, they asked the questions, and we'll see.
Will you be cooperative? I mean, your attorney in New York says he can't promise how responsive you'll be.
Goodbye. Yeah, Mayor Giuliani.
That is Nick Valencia right in the...
So there we go. And I just wanted to capture this moment in a segment because, again, I really do see this as profoundly important and historic. The idea that allies close to the president, likely being directed by the president of the United States at the time, were attempting to overturn lawful election results in a state, and now are actually being held accountable for it, hopefully, at least being investigated for it, is really, really important. And I do think it'll be remembered for a long time. And it's this idea that if you don't hold people accountable in a significant way, then it will happen again. We've already seen, as I've discussed multiple times now, this pattern that's emerged of people who are kind of Trump sycophants or Trump endorsees who follow the exact playbook that Trump laid out. Something we didn't see that often in America, which was people attempting to claim an election was stolen, claim all of this fraud, and claim they really won. And now we're seeing it all over the place. And they all do this same pattern of, in the buildup, they say, we're seeing there could be some fraud. Kari Lake's a great example of this in Arizona. We're seeing indications there might be some fraud. So if we win, it's because we got so many votes they weren't able to steal. If we lose, it's because it was stolen. So you set up a situation where you're going to win either way. And that's really dangerous. And then, of course, this was happening, the Kari Lake example, in a Republican primary. So if the 2020 election was stolen by the Democrats, what is this being stolen by other Republicans? Or I don't know. Not much thought going on there, but it is scary. And so this has to happen. Rudy Giuliani has to be held accountable, as well as, more importantly, Donald Trump. But Rudy Giuliani is a step in that process because, again, it will happen again. More people will test the boundaries of our democracy by trying to overturn results, by trying to get their movement riled up and threaten violence to pressure different, individuals to go along with these actions. And right now, the Republican Party as a whole is completely on board with these lies based on no evidence. It's really, really wild and really scary. So the kind of main line of defense we now have against this happening again and against this becoming the norm and really deteriorating our democracy is the rule of law, holding them accountable. So crazy stuff, but ultimately good stuff happening in Georgia right now.